Go ahead. Yeah.
Yo, Tsai, Redonkulous.
Okay, guys, we're live in 3, 2, 1, action.
It's the Redonkulous starring Annie and Jeff and my coolest guy in the world whose name is James. It's Redonkulous.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Redonkulouspodcast. When life gets tough, we get redonkulous. Today, we have a very special guest. He's a former
Hold
EMT,
on.
the first
Why is that
responder.
so funny?
Tom is like disappearing here and there.
I see that too, yeah.
I
So
think,
for you audio listeners, Tom's camouflaging right now. He's like a chameleon.
I think it's the green shirt.
What about the pants? The pants are completely gone.
Oh,
Oh, this is going to be a fun episode.
He's
Okay,
skinny dipping.
Before we get started, I just want to plug our social
yeah.
media. And the sombreros out. Check us out on Redonkulous Podcast on Instagram, Spotify, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcast. All right, let me try this again. Today's guest is my cousin Tom. And what's up? What's good? He is a former EMT, first responder. He's an essential worker. He is currently a firefighter for the FDNY. And he joined us today. We're going to be talking some shenanigans that go on at the firehouse. Maybe. We'll see.
Hello, Tom.
Uh-oh.
Welcome.
So, I'm Jeffrey's cousin.
Welcome, Jeffrey's cousin Tom.
I love coffee, and I'm eating chips right now.
Very nice. Recently, I had the pleasure of seeing you guys, James and Tom. It was such a strange meeting because we can't be in close proximity. Even though we're having a conversation, there's that distance, and it feels so foreign. I don't know how you guys felt about that.
Yeah, it was very awkward. Not used to all that 6 feet distancing and then just talking very far away.
With the mask on.
Oh yeah, with the mask on.
I didn't even know what the protocol was. You came to pick up some stuff. I was like, let me just give you the bag. And then you're like, leave it on the grass. I'll leave it on the steps and I'll go back in and we'll talk through the glass door.
Wait, James, did you spray it with vinegar afterwards? Because apparently you're supposed to do that, according to WeChat University.
WeChat University.
You need to explain a little bit of WeChat University. James is not on WeChat.
Oh, pretty much all the moms, the aunties, the uncles, they all get together and tell each other what to do. And yeah, they're crazy. But it's all right. It's all for our safety and health, I guess.
The funny part about this WeChat University, there's actually a fake diploma going around. Like, blah, 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 blah. You graduated from WeChat University. All the information is 100% accurate. It's quite hilarious.
Yeah.
Who monitors the WeChat University guidelines?
As long as you have the WeChat app, you can graduate.
Yeah. My mom has told us to leave cut onions out to like rid of bacteria, and also like she said to put a Q-tip of vinegar up my nose.
What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's been circulating around.
So
I don't know if it works, but I mean, they say onions and vinegar, they all get rid of bacteria.
My mom had a bowl of vinegar out for a whole week. Yeah.
Oh,
I was dying.
That vinegar smell. It's pretty bad. I'm just curious, what science is backed by this?
There is no science. That's the joke about it.
Absolutely no science behind it. I don't even know.
So it's like cultural remedies in a way.
No,
Could be
it's not,
culture. I
it's not
mean,
cultural remedy. I'm just sure that there's someone out there that's on WeChat and is having fun trolling people. I bet Tom would be really good at this also. Just go on WeChat and spread some stuff. If this sounds believable, people will do it. Okay,
Yeah.
and you get your diploma from WeChat. It's not a real diploma, James.
WeChat diploma.
Yeah. So speaking of vinegar, that smell is so strong. So recently, Annie gave me a haircut. She was trying to give me some scalp treatment, so she put vinegar in my head.
Ooh.
And even though I
Apple
washed
cider
my head with
vinegar.
shampoo, apple cider vinegar, even though I washed my head 2 days in a row with shampoo, this morning I still woke up smelling vinegar.
Really? But I also use coconut oil.
I don't get the coconut at all. Feels bad, man.
Vinegar strong.
Tom, when I came over to pick up the clippers from you and to give you some of the taiyang the sun cakes that my dad made. Oh, by the
Yeah,
way,
it was delicious.
it's his birthday today. Yo, Annie, you want to show the cake that Tam made? This was a super fail. But you
It's
see that
sitting
cake in the
over
background?
there.
My
Aw.
sister made boba cake for my dad. And it's super fail because my mom doesn't know how to keep a secret. My mom wakes up this morning and she starts making a big deal out of it. She's like, "Where's the cake? Where's the cake?" And then my dad was like, "What cake? What cake?" And then my mom was just like, "Oh, there was a cake here. Did you put it away?" They checked outside in the patio, they checked the basement, and then it was like, "No, the cake is gone." I come downstairs for breakfast, and my dad was just like, "Did you hear about the mystery of the cake?" I just pretended I had no idea. Kind of expected him to see it. He's usually the first one up in the house. So I purposely hid it upstairs. I knew he was going to check the basement. And the surprise is ruined now.
Wait, don't you
But-
have to refrigerate the cake?
I mean, one night out is okay.
No.
But anyway, Tom, going back to your place, tell us what you did with the clippers.
So I grabbed clean plastic bag, put the clippers in there. I have like, I don't know, 50 feet of rope, and tied it pretty much and lowered it. Yeah. And I had my mask on, I had my gloves on.
You had your sombrero
Yeah.
on too.
Oh yeah.
Did
It
you
repelled down your
Listen.
balcony.
Did you spray your hat with vinegar after you went in?
Heck no.
Disinfect?
No way.
Where
How
did you
about-
get that hat?
Oh, this? All right. So in January, I went to Florida with friends to Disney World.
Yeah.
And during Epcot, they have Mexico, they had Italy, they had China. You know, drinking around the world, pretty much. That's what I did. Irene was like, "Oh, this is a perfect hat for you." And during that time, I was super intoxicated. So I was like, "Yeah, give me the hat." She got me the hat.
What is Epcot?
Epcot is
James.
just. What? Wait, you've never been?
Oh.
Oh wow.
Wow, poor guy.
So it's pretty much this place in Disney where you can eat and drink around the world. Yeah. It's pretty
James,
good.
it's a theme park. It's a Disney theme park.
Yeah, but
Wow.
mainly for the food and drinks.
Yeah, and the sombreros apparently.
Let's go
Yeah.
after this whole ordeal is over.
Around my favorite spot.
How many times have you gone?
3.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What the heck? You fly all the way down to Florida to go to Epcot and drink?
No,
Living the
well,
life, man.
you know, I went to Magic Kingdom. I went to all the other places in Disney, and Epcot was one of them.
not important. You know, the most important is Epcot.
Yeah.
Let's
I
go.
don't remember.
Let's do.
Okay, word of the day. A dumbrate.
A what?
A dumbrate. and it means
hell?
to
Fine.
foreshadow vaguely, to suggest, disclose, or outline partially. Pretty much like a summary. Don't look it up. No cheating.
I'm not.
Not looking it up anyway. I'm not even touching a word because
He's not gonna type it out.
that thing auto corrected. What we do is we try to guess the spelling of it. So you, me, and Jeff, we're gonna
We're gonna try to spell it out.
All right,
No,
here's the
spelling
sentence.
bee.
The artist chose colors to adumbrate the trees in the forest so they seem mysterious and shadowy. Adumbrate.
All right, Tom, you can go first.
DUM
I got it. Actually, yep. Go ahead.
BR
Wait, start over.
AT.
Wait,
Oh.
start.
DUM BRAT. E.
Eh.
Oh man, I'm great.
All right.
Adumbrate.
I'll go next.
Okay.
Oh,
ADUMBRAIT. E.
Oh, that sounds wrong.
No. No, but kind of close.
Okay, ADUMBRATE.
Ding, ding, ding. Correcto. You win nothing.
Thanks.
Well, no, he wins spelling bee win for episode 13.
I win the spelling bee. Maybe I
Hey, you
can
want
get
a free
sombrero.
haircut.
I already redeemed it. Feels bad, man.
So for anyone that wants to be a firefighter, what's the process like for the application, the exams, and the physical tests?
I went through the promotional route, which is through EMS. When I did it, I needed at least 2 years before I could take the promotional test. It's pretty much a written exam, and you get scored on it. 75 is obviously passing.
Cool.
And after that, you go through like a medical process, which they put you, actually, there's a thing called CPAT. It's like an obstacle course that you go through, and you're timed. After that, you do medical, physical, I think, and psychological, I think. I'm not sure. I forgot.
Yeah, you probably didn't
it's been-
pass the psychological, huh?
It's been like 2 years.
Well, I saw this picture. It was a video, right? Was it during your graduation where you have to go down a pole?
Oh, we have this rope where we can single slide off a building in case the roof is untenable.
Oh, I
And
saw that.
we can also use that rope that we carry up to get someone when they're hanging from the window. We pack the rope, so we'll do drills on those.
Oh, so
that
you
evolution.
actually have to rappel down on a daily basis?
It's not recommended, but we've done it.
Wait, why is it not recommended?
Huh?
Why is it not recommended?
If you put too much weight on it, or if it breaks and you need it, then we have to put it out of service.
Oh.
And it's also for our own safety.
So what made
Yep.
you want to become a firefighter?
It all started with, what am I going to do with my life? And my friend Wilson, he's actually Irene's older brother. He asked me if I wanted to take a EMT class with him. So I was like, yeah, sure. What is that about, Because I didn't know anything about the job, or the department. Fast forward, we were called for the academy, went through the process together. And that's when I was like, oh, shoot, you know what? This is actually pretty interesting.
Nice.
And from there, 2 years went by. I learned more about the department, like promotional opportunities. I applied for the firefighting promotion. 5.5 years later, we were given the opportunity to take the written exam, and it went from there.
All right, you guys ask a question.
Huh? What?
What are you laughing at?
Yeah. Are you okay, Jeff?
You can't stop laughing.
Yeah, why are you laughing?
Tom was telling such a serious story. He's wearing the sombrero. It's throwing me off. I'm crying right now. I'm really crying right now.
I'm also eating jalapeno chips.
Ooh.
I'm trying to stay awake because I'm half asleep right now.
Oh my
man.
God. Yeah. Thank you for coming on. I know that you had a crazy, you worked overnight, right?
Well, with everything going on, our schedules were changed to a 24-hour shift, 3 days off, and then another 24-hour shift. So
24-hour shift?
No,
Damn.
24. Well, that's a normal for us. But with everything going on, a lot of the personnel is getting either sick or maybe they're dealing with something at home. They're all on medical leave. You know,
One of my
really-
colleagues is a retired cop, and he
Okay.
sent this thing on our group chat, which is like all the precincts, and then what percentage are people calling out or sick. A lot of them is like 20%, 30%. Have you guys seen that on your end also?
I think on the news it was more like they had a total of 6,000 guys, but then their workforce is a lot bigger than ours. They deal with the public more, like
Yeah.
face to face. You know, that's why it's important for everyone to stay at home and just self isolate. The numbers for us, I think last time I saw it was like 200 something.
Mm-hmm.
But confirmed cases, I'm not sure.
What kind of precautions are you guys taking at the firehouse? Are you guys employing the
every day
6 feet distance?
Yes and no. We're all in the same building together, and the whole point of this whole new schedule is to put all the same group of guys together. So every tour I'm working, it's always with the same group of guys. Whoever gets sick or needs to go out for the COVID-19, at least they can pinpoint, where it's coming from. Yeah.
If that's the case,
So,
if one of you guys gets it, doesn't that mean that the whole squad is out of commission?
Yes and no. They want us to work as long as we're asymptomatic, they still want us to work. For the most part, most guys are okay. At my firehouse, only 5 guys tapped out so far, and maybe I think one of them was tested positive.
Tapped out?
It means they're out on medical leave.
Oh, okay.
And the department issued a statement saying, if you feel fever, shortness of breath, we'll call the medical desk and they'll give us like a week, 3 to 5 days, I think, off. I'm not sure.
Are you allowed to tell us about the fire that happened this morning?
Not much of it, but it was at 5 in the morning. Came in at a cross street. I got someone that was walking their dog, saw smoke. We went to the cross street. We didn't see much, but then I noticed in the parking lot there was a light haze. We investigated. Turned out it was a warehouse.
It was a what?
So we pulled around the block.
A warehouse, I think.
Small fire. It could have been worse because there was a lot of propane tanks. There was a truck in there.
Whoa.
There was a forklift. And usually when those catch on fire, it can go bad, especially when it's enclosed. When I went in with the line with my company, we saw fire in this little closet space. There was like a machinery in there, so we put that out. And we have this thing called the thermal imaging camera, so you can see the hot spots. Oh. Most of the remaining fire was up on the ceiling, so the guys were using the hook to opening up the ceiling, and there was a good amount of fire up there.
How common are fires? Is it dependent on, I guess, time of year? Is this seasonal? Like in the summertime, there's more fire.
Varies. What? Oh, can you see the hat?
It just looked like you dropped into the ocean.
Summertime, it's more like people overloading the electrical outlet. It could cause a fire there because of the AC. Wintertime, it's more like basement boiler rooms and stuff like that. It could also be space heaters too. Yeah, it depends. But my area is generally slower. Usually there's like a fire here and there, whether it's big or small. It could be a dryer fire too. That's why it's important to clean your dryer out.
Of the lint?
Yeah.
I had an encounter with firefighters at my dry cleaners.
Yeah.
Do they come with sombreros on?
No, no sombreros.
No.
That's a fire hazard.
Yeah, so it was like I think like 6 years ago when we first started the business. We used to do laundry for this restaurant. We used to wash their chef jackets, aprons, and their kitchen towels. We washed the kitchen towels and then we dried it. And then while it was still hot, we just left it in a basket. We put the towels inside the basket, right? So it's like imagine like a 3 feet by 3 feet basket, and the hot kitchen towel baskets. Leave it over there overnight. We get a call at like 2 a.m, saying that there was a fire at our cleaners. We all drive out, and by the time we were there, they took the basket out. They extinguished the fire from the basket, and then.
Oh wow.
What happened though? Like, how did it catch fire?
So the kitchen towels, they're very hot. We didn't cool it down. There was also some grease or oil in the towels.
Oh.
And then the heat and the oil caused the towels to kind of catch on fire. And then they told me that, when they got here, they looked through the window, and then, they dismantled the window and went in. And the basket was like a golden ember, like
Yeah.
when you do barbecue, it's like a charcoal, it's like golden ember. Yeah, so it wasn't like flaming or anything like that. It was just like a
It was just super heated.
basket. Right. Yeah. So everything was just on fire.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It could have been bad.
Everything was
Yeah.
fine though, right? The machines, everything else.
The basket caught on fire, and then the dryer next to it also got damaged.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because it was right next to it, touching.
Yeah.
So I learned our lesson. 2 a.m.
Be careful while
Cool it
doing
down.
laundry.
I had a question about the pole that you have in the firehouse. Is it the fastest way of transportation in the firehouse? Like why?
The what?
Why is it there?
Wait, what
The
pole?
pole? The pole that you slide down in the firehouses, and then you.
Oh, yeah. We have them. We use them too sometimes. It depends on the call. If it's a residential or commercial. If it comes in like that, then it'll say, fire so and so in this private dwelling or multiple dwelling. Then yeah, we'll utilize the pole, but normally I'll just run down the steps.
Do you guys use the pole for any other purposes, like dancing?
Yeah. What dancing? No. Now when it's fire safety week, we usually get kids from the local elementary schools. They stop by the firehouse. They got to make an appointment or whatever with the city, and then they come we'll put on a little show about fire safety, and we'll also slide down the pole for them. Yeah, cool.
Oh, I have a question. Do you guys help new parents, like new mom and dads, learn how to use a car seat?
No,
No.
but we can help you.
I thought you go to like firefighters for that type of lesson if you had questions, but maybe they don't do it anymore.
Not that I know of, but people have stopped by and asked us, and we just help.
Cool.
But do we do it? No.
No.
Come on, there's Google nowadays.
What is that show called? It's like Firehouse something. Anyway, it's a firehouse show. And the show.
Chicago FD or something.
Yeah. Something like that.
I don't even watch that show, so.
Oh.
If you ask me their names, I don't even know.
Oh yeah, I don't know their names either. But in the show, like newbie firefighters, they have to like cook and clean for the firehouse. Did you have to do that too?
We cook together and we clean together.
Okay.
Yeah, every morning we have a routine. We cook breakfast together, do a roll call, and check our rigs. After that, we'll do like committee work, which means we clean the whole house. Because the night before, you don't know who's working and whatnot. You want to keep the house clean. So
Mm.
yeah,
So
yeah, we pretty much clean the whole house together.
together. Okay.
And cooking meals and stuff, we cook lunch and dinner together. We usually go out, go to the local supermarket and shop for food. And no, it's all out of our own pocket, so it's not taxpayers' money. Some people feel like, oh yeah, why are we shopping? No, we use our own money to buy food for the house for the people that's working that tour, and then we just cook the food.
So you guys can do like takeout too if you guys wanted to, since it's your own money.
We don't really do takeout. We prefer
Oh,
cooking. It's cheaper, and
right.
by cooking together, we learn how to things here and there, and we
Work as
also
a team.
talk. We bond. Yeah, it's like a
Nice.
team thing.
Okay.
Because when we go to fires, we work as a team. So
Right.
everybody, everything we do in the firehouse when we're reported for duty. Yeah, for takeouts, we only do it once a week, and that's Saturdays. We usually do multi-unit drills, and after the multi-unit drills, we instead of cooking, because it takes a good amount of time, uh, we'll just go get takeout from the local restaurant.
Do you do physical drills to stay in shape?
Physical drills, like what do you mean, like working out?
I watched this anime.
Uh,
In the anime that I watched, it's just these
oh,
guys that have a
you
rope
mean like, oh,
and they climb it.
uh-huh,
They climb across and then they have to go and unbuckle something. Do you ever do something like that?
no.
Did you ever have to go to like a car accident scene?
What,
And then like in like the movies where like they
the
like
crush?
cut open the door and then crush it and all that. Have you done it?
Usually when I'm in the engine, so I'll have the
Okay.
nozzle ready. I'll have we're with the hose bed, so it's the one where I'm on the rig where it has a lot of hose on the back. The truck,
Ooh, cool.
they'll have more tools. They have a thing called hearse tools. Let's say the person is pinned inside and the door can't be open. They have this thing called a hearse tool, and they can cut certain points of the car to remove the door and maybe raise the dashboard just so we can get that person out.
Is that a specialized separate firehouse, or you guys are coming from
No,
the same place?
no, there's a single engine, there's a double house, which is a engine and a truck, and then there's a single truck. It varies. It depends on the area. My area is mostly private dwellings, and we have a tower ladder. It has a bucket in the back. Each truck has its special functions and pros and cons.
What about the firehouse in Fresh Meadows?
Yeah, that's a sock support company. They're a decon. The engine is a decon, and the truck is a sock support.
So it kind of sounds
And
like usually when you guys go out, the two main thing is the engine and then the hose
the
truck,
engine and the truck, yeah.
engine or truck. So that's
hmm
like the two teams of firefighters
Yep.
usually.
The truck usually consists of five firefighters and a boss. Depends on the area. My engine, we don't ride heavy, so we only have four firefighters and a boss. And every
Mm.
position has important jobs. Like today, my job, I was a backup. I had to make sure my nozzle guy was able to move forward with the line.
Oh, back in
Have
school we had fire drills. You guys also do fire drills, right?
No. When you have fire drills, right? When do we do it? No, but we end up responding to the schools because someone either pulled the alarm or something is going on inside the school and it set off the system. So that's
Don't
why
you guys
we
do like a
respond.
mock demonstration or a mock fire, and then you guys try to respond in a manner?
We do.
Sound like you're drowning,
We get
Tom.
assigned to the. So yeah, we'll have scenarios and stuff, and they'll set up a hay on fire, and we'll try to find. Well, the truck guys will try to find the fire. The engine guys will stretch a line and put out the fire. So do we do it out in the public? No, but we do drills in the academy. But with everything going on right now, they stop all training at the fire academy.
Have you ever been in a scary or dangerous situation?
When I was an EMT, yes,
Oh,
multiple times. As a firefighter, I work in I would say a rich area. When I
uh-huh.
was an EMT, I was in Canarsie, Brooklyn. Like I don't see much gangs or anything like that anymore. Like shootings is rare. Stabbing once in a while. We'll still go on medical calls, but it's more like, you know. Do I miss it? I learned a lot. I'm not gonna knock on it. I've experienced a lot of stuff within my 5.5 years. Do I miss it? Not really. I'm glad. I'm glad I'm out of there. It's blood money, you know. They don't get paid what they deserve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even now, it's rough.
Now it's especially
And
rough.
yeah, well, sure, it's a really rewarding job. Making a difference, you definitely do. You know, you end up delivering a baby. You end up saving a life. You know, you actually see the improvements you're making because you're there. Yeah, I've seen a lot of bad stuff,
Can you
gang
share?
shootings. But
Can you share some or
my
no?
worst one would probably be a 17-year-old getting hit by a drunk driver, and he was pretty much split in half.
Oh
Oh,
shit!
Yeah, when I got there, I thought it was a little kid, but it was actually half of his body.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and then his torso was by the passenger door.
oh,
Yep, the whole windshield was destroyed. The roof of the car was destroyed. Actually, it was because of the roof of the car that split him in half. Summer 2018, everyone was out at the beach, and these three kids were super drunk.
Wow.
They ran home and showered and came back. Yeah, one of them didn't shower, and he was all bloody.
Uh,
That was probably one of the because it was a really small community, so everyone knew each other in that area.
did
Yeah,
they know the kid that was hit?
oh yeah, everybody knew each other. The driver, everybody knew the driver, everybody knew the kid. Like I said, it was a small community, so
That's
Wow.
so sad.
yeah.
What do you do when
Mm.
you arrive at that scene though? There's nothing you can really do.
All right, what do you have? You ask yourself, what do you have there? Now, are you safe? That's another question you gotta ask yourself. Is your partner safe? Is there a crowd that you have to worry about? You know, because you don't know if whoever did XYZ is still there. I was BLS, so I just did basic life support. But ALS, they could give fluids, they could give medicine.
What happens if you go to a emergency scene and it's not safe?
Uh, that's happened. You stay back, you wait for the cops, and once the cops show up, you go in with them.
Mm,
They'll, every I can tell you for a fact that every one of my calls when I was in EMT were different. Nothing was the same. You can't just look at it like, all right, it's gonna be ABC. It's different. You just react to it based on what you have.
use
Right.
your own
okay.
judgment.
Yeah. I've had more bad calls where this kid, it I think it was like 4 in the morning. Apparently, he was with his friend, and his friend ended up shooting him in the back, and he was paralyzed from the waist down.
Holy shit.
And
What?
yeah,
What was the issue?
Did it hit his
he
spine?
couldn't feel anything.
Right. I mean, why
At
did his
an
friend shoot him?
oh, I didn't stay and find out. Had another call where it was I guess it was a gang shooting, but it was a block party. Dude was shot in the face, so his eye was pretty much like done. But because of the crowd, we brought him to the hospital. Long story short, the hospital actually got his heart rate back, and eventually they had to call it because they couldn't save him.
Damn.
I did have some good calls though.
I, as well as Mark, went through the accelerated program for EMT. I was on this call with the ALS paramedic, and we went to this house. Respond to this house. I think the person was suicidal or something. There was multiple calls before. I just remember when we went in, they didn't knock on the door like this. Like they stood on the side of the door and knocked on the door like this.
Of course, because you don't know who's behind that door. They
Gun
could
or
be
something.
paranoid. They could be on drugs. There was a summer where bath salt was crazy, being on the streets with bath salt. Those guys had super strength. We ended up tying most of them down.
Bath salt?
Bath salts.
Yeah,
People were
bath
taking
salt.
bath salts because it gave them a good high or something.
What?
So
And
Ladder
you
49
usually get
is
up.
a movie from 2004, and Joaquin Phoenix and John Travolta were both in it. I don't remember the movie. I just remember there was a scene that really stuck out to me where they're on a roof and it was a fire and it was really, really dangerous. And then the roof collapsed and then one of the firefighters died.
Oh, fell in, right?
Yeah.
That can't. Yeah, that can happen. Um, fire calls are unpredictable. Depending on the type of building. Same with medical calls. So anything can happen. That's why we train and we prepare for the worst case scenario too. So far, nothing too crazy has happened.
So your skills
Yeah,
as
That's
an
good.
EMT and also like the critical thinking aspect of that job carries over and translates to now when you're a firefighter.
Oh
Your
yeah,
critical
yeah, yeah.
thinking
Oh
for
yeah. Like when I first started as an EMT, I was fresh. I didn't know anything. Yeah, it definitely developed a
Experience.
different type of thinking. I handle situations differently now, and the most important thing is staying calm and have a cool collective mind, and that's it. I mean, if you're all amped up, if you're nervous or even excited, you can definitely screw up. You just have to have a clear mind and look at what you have.
That was just like the time when your dad fell off the chair at
I
our
was just gonna
family
say
party.
that. That was the time where I was the most impressed by you. I will always remember that. I was like, yo, Tom is so cool right now. We're at my house and our family got together. It was a celebration. We're having a party and your dad, bless your dad, decided to get up on a chair to take
You wanted
pictures,
to take the
A
best
folding
picture ever.
chair.
a folding
Yeah.
chair. And he wanted to get the best picture, the best view. I'm sorry to say, like it's kind of funny now, but back then when it happened, it was so freaking scary, dude. Like he got up, I think he had like a big ass iPad, right? And he
Yeah.
was trying to like take a picture, and then the whole thing just folded in. He
Oh my
fell.
god.
He was just on the floor, and we had to call 911. If you know my neighborhood in Fresh Meadows, it's a very quiet neighborhood. So when the ambulance came, a lot of my neighbors are just so nosy, just like what's going on. They're just like looking. I see them outside their house. They just wanted to see what happened. But even before they arrived, Tom was already there administering care or doing what you can given the circumstances. Because you're asking
So
your dad a lot of questions like, how do you feel? Do you feel this? Do you feel that?
When it happened, I was like, "Oh, what happened?" And I turned around, Everyone's like, "Oh, your dad fell. Watch his head." I'm like, okay. I walked over. I looked. The first thing I saw, all right, no blood, cool. And I looked at his leg. Oh, okay, it's probably broken because of the swelling. Did what I was trained as an EMT to do: assess the mental status and make sure everything else is good, the airway, breathing, and circulation. That's the that's the thing we usually go through. We're just asking him basic questions, and as long as he was able to respond back to me without an issue, it was no big deal. But just by
Mm.
looking at the leg, I knew it was broken because I've seen a lot of broken legs like that, and
Ugh.
it hurts.
He was in pain. That's
Yes,
scary.
He was in a lot of
yes.
pain.
That's actually one of the strongest bones in our body, and to break it, it's like, and plus he is kind of old.
No more
Yeah.
folding chairs for your dad.
No, even till this day, I still make fun of him. I'm like, oh, you still want to take fancy pictures? Huh?
Oh.
All the questions that you asked when the EMTs actually came and responded to the call, they were asking a lot of the same questions as well.
Yeah, and they were gonna put my dad on the chair, and I told them no, they needed the scoop, which is a better way to transport a good person. But whether it's the hip or the femur, you should never put them in a chair or lift them up. Even with a head injury,
What is a
for the
scoop?
scoop was pretty much, remember that long metal thing
You
they brought
carried the
over?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can adjust the height of it. You can take it apart and just scoop it under them. I call it the scoop.
Is it the best way to transport people who are injured like that?
Yes and no. So what we did was we put them on the scoop and then we removed the scoop because that thing hurts. It's pretty much all metal. When you hit a bump and you don't want to lay on that and hitting a bump because that's gonna hurt. So
Yeah.
yeah, we always look for patient's best interest. We want to try to make them feel comfortable, even though they're in a shitty situation.
Do you still keep in touch with your colleagues from your EMT days? Do you still talk to them?
Yeah. With everything going on now, I'm just asking them how everything is. With their family, how's everything at work. Try to keep in touch.
So some people like yourself would go from EMT or EMS to FDNY, and then some would go from BLS to ALS.
I was on EMT with the FDNY already.
Right.
But yeah, but people can be EMTs from like a voluntary, which is like the hospital base. But yeah, we're still one department, like FDNY, EMS, and FDNY. Firefighters. We're under the same department.
A couple of years ago, before you became a firefighter, I asked if you ever wanted to do ALS, which is a paramedic.
Yeah, I had an interest, but then this came first, so I went with whatever opportunity came my way first.
Tom, are you playing Animal Crossing right now?
Oh, sorry guys. Yeah. No, because my the game turned off, so I'm just making sure that we start. Thank goodness. Whew.
Did you hear about
Yeah,
this game, Animal Crossing, James?
carry on.
No, what is Animal Crossing?
Oh my God, yo, you have a Switch?
No.
Well, get a Switch and then get Animal Crossing.
Oh.
This game where you're like a farmer, right?
Mm-hmm.
You make your own island, you have your own island, and then you get to invite your friends. A lot of people, especially on Twitch, a lot of streamers have been on this game.
Yo, it's the best thing
Mm.
ever.
I
But
keep asking
then,
people, I don't see the fun of it, so I'm curious too. Like, what makes the game so fun?
I just like it. I don't know.
Is it kind of like
It's cute. It's cute. You want a little preview?
is it kind of like Farmville, Sims, and Mouse
Yeah.
Hunt, that kind of type of
You know,
games?
Harvest Moon.
Whoa! Don't be bringing up Mouse Hunt like that. How dare you? How dare you?
That mouse hunt.
No, Mouse Hunt is different.
Okay.
That's a different animal.
Ah, gotcha. So kind of like Sims?
No, it's like Harvest Moon, but
Harvest
cuter.
Moon.
I don't think James knows Harvest Moon either.
Oh,
We have a cousins chat, and Karen our cousin who's also been on the show before, was playing Animal Crossing
He's
with
like,
Tom. So she goes on Tom's island, and Tom, being the troll that he is, decides to build a fence around her, so she cannot escape his island. He basically imprisoned them on the island.
no. She couldn't enter my island. I blocked the entrance. I blocked the entrance. So this is the airport, right? And this is the entrance. I blocked the whole entrance, so she couldn't, mess around in my island.
Oh,
Tom, you got some trust issues.
okay.
Dude.
Well, my buddy Irene, I told her not to destroy my rock, and she was like, okay, and she ended up destroying my rock. And it takes a whole day for the rock to respawn. So, yes, I have trust issues.
Damn, you gotta protect that rock next time. Build a fence around
Exactly.
the rock.
That's
what you
what I've
did.
been doing. That's what I've been
Nice.
doing.
Yeah, these people are savages.
Yeah, yo. First, she gets you a sombrero, and then she destroys your rock. Irene.
Messed up.
We're still waiting, by the way, for the Turks and Caicos footage that you promised us last year.
What footage?
I'm just too lazy.
Did you happen to get us parasailing?
Yeah.
You
I think
did?
so.
Yeah, well, I
think
was
so,
holding
yeah.
it while we were up there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
The only footage that I got from that trip was with Jack's drone. Did you get to see that shot?
Yeah.
That's our
That was nice.
YouTube intro.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I know.
Our number one fan.
Yeah.
We actually started doing video because you said you don't listen to audio.
Yeah, so we started season 2 with video. Yeah, thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, no problem. I got
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah,
No problem.
number one fan. We had to pull out video.
Yep. A lot is changing, and I think a lot of changes are coming along the way because EMS is like drained. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, if there's any questions, they can always ask me if they have an interest.
Where can
You
they
want to
ask?
plug your social?
Huh?
Where
Yeah,
can they
down
ask?
below. Follow the link.
What link?
No, I'm saying, I'm asking. Can we give out your social?
Yeah, how
My
can they reach you?
social?
Your
How-
social media. links.
Instagram.
What?
Social media, not
Yeah.
your social security number.
Yeah, if anyone reaches out to you and has any questions, yeah, I don't mind answering any questions.
Thomas who?
TAMASUNYC.
Can they also find you at Gmail at ThomasT88 @gmail?
Yo, you just gave him my email. Don't want to get spammers, bro. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, I don't care. Right, you gonna give my phone number next?
Sure.
Links will be in
646.
the description, guys.
Down below.
And it's
Here. Oh, by the
his phone
way,
number.
hold on. Can I give a shout out to my girlfriend,
Sure.
Kathy? Shout out.
Hi, Kathy.
Yeah, hello, Kathy.
What's up, Kathy? Thank
Kathy
you
is
for listening.
actually
to the
your number
podcast.
one fan. Like when I'm calling her, she's like, "Oh, I'm listening to your cousin's podcast." I'm like,
Aw.
"Okay."
That's awesome.
We'll
And
get to
now-
meet her after this quarantine is over.
You know what's crazy? Everyone was supposed to meet her
Yeah.
that weekend, and then all this happened.
We've seen her Instagram post on April Fool's where she took a picture of her passport, like she was
Oh,
going
yeah.
somewhere.
No, originally she was, but then with COVID-19, everything canceled.
Yeah, I saw that. And I was
Yeah.
at first, I thought she was actually traveling.
Nah,
I was
she
like,
just wanted to
"Whoa."
post that up.
And then I realized, wait, it's April 1st. That is a lie.
Yep, that's a lie.
Why don't you tell us what your island code is so people can find you on Animal Crossing?
No. No, because I have to open it up, and they generate a new code each time. So
Oh.
I mean, they could add me on the Switch, but I'm not gonna add random people unless if I know
Yeah,
them.
you don't know what they're gonna do with your rock, so.
Exactly. Gotta protect the rock.
Guys, any more questions for Tom?
Nope.
Yep, we're all
We
good.
Gucci.
All right. First of all, thank you, Tom. On a serious note, thank you very much for your service. I know it's really hard now,
Yes.
and then a lot of
Yeah,
people.
thank you so much.
Pretty stressful. The department, they have a thing called CSU, which is like a counseling unit. If you're feeling, stressed, depressed, or whatever, you can always reach out to a counseling unit.
Is it free?
Yeah, with everything going on, don't be
cool.
afraid.
Well,
It
we'll
doesn't
link that
matter.
in
Huh?
the description.
Oh no, I'm just saying. Like, if you need to talk to somebody, just talk to somebody. But our department, we have a thing called CSU. I'm just saying. With everything, I've been feeling kind of like,
So can we link it or no?
no, don't link it. I'm just saying, if you're feeling depressed.
If you're feeling depressed, guys, just Google it. We're not gonna link it.
Or just DM Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas NYC.
Yeah. I'm all ears. I'll listen to whatever you have to say.
Thank you for coming on the show. I think a lot of people need to hear what's going on out there, especially you guys are on the front line. I think it's very important that people get to hear that voice. So
Shout outs to the doctors, nurses, and everyone at
EMTs.
the hospital. Yeah,
And
EMTs.
EMTs, of course.
And cops.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks with everything going on.
Yeah.
And hopefully everyone will pull through.
Yeah, and if you can stay at home, like do what Tom does. He uses a rope and a bag to kind of transfer stuff.
And just don't be lazy. Tell your parents to stay home, and you do the grunt work. Like if you have a compromised immune system, then reach out to somebody to get it for you instead of getting yourself exposed. 다지죠? 선수카드? Alright, that's good. Oh shoot! Hold
A
on.
week or two.
I think I have to put on the mask. Oh man! Before they start yelling at us.
And the sombrero. Don't forget that.
Yeah, can you guys see me?
No, not at all.
You're headless.
Yeah.
This thing sucks.
You gotta turn off the background.
Yeah,
How?
I think that'll help.
How do you turn it off?
That is so funny. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Joe, happy birthday.
Thanks, Tom. Everyone, stay home if you can, and don't forget to stay redonkulous.
Redonkulous. It's the Jeff and Annie and James Redonkulous Show. Yeah.
Awesome.